Hello and welcome back to On The Rocks. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode as we take on Liverpool in the first knockout round, second leg in the Champions League, as well as Celtic, who are really struggling this season. Not only are they still fifth in the league, but they've also been knocked out of the Europa League after being knocked out of the Champions League. So it's not a good time to be a Celtic fan. Since you guys were last here for the Liverpool win and the very narrow win against St Johnstone at the end, we've played 4 league games and, well, done pretty well. Actually, 3 league games, 1 cup game. It was a 6-0 win against Dundee before beating Dundee United 7-0 in the Scottish Cup quarter-final. We then went one step further again by beating Dunfermline 8-0 with Antonio Demancic scoring 4 goals in that game from corners. He was absolutely incredible before we came to Motherwell and we beat them 4-1. So pretty good stuff in between episodes. Demancic is having an incredible season. I can't get over how many goals he has been scoring this. I mean, look at his attributes. I've not looked at his attributes properly for a while. The mentals have got a bit better, I think, since we last looked at him properly, probably a season or so ago, I'd say. But he's got 13 goals to his name in the league this season, 21 overall. As a defender, 21 goals this season in all competitions. He had a very good season in 29-30, scoring 17 goals in all competitions, and then we just weren't quite as lethal from corners. 12 the season after that, 6 the season after that, and last season only getting 7. This year, he decided that he likes to score from corners again, and has got 21. And I suppose you might also want a Jens Nieve update as well. I actually put it on Twitter last night, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, link down in the description to my Twitter at TomFM_YT. The Spanish kid still won't give me at TomFM. But Jens Nieve has now got 47 assists this season from 41 appearances. It is absolutely monumental. I don't think I've ever had a player get anywhere near this amount of assists. He is so good. In terms of goals, well, actually, Jan Cavalcanti decided to start scoring more goals in between episodes, and he's now level with Bryce Delaney on 27. So for this game coming up, this is the team. Peter starts in goal as per usual with a backline of Reyes de Souza playing at left back today. Now hear me out on this one. He actually does have both feet on, well, a reasonable left foot, which isn't too bad, but obviously on the right hand side he's about as good as de Klerk, and if we compare him with de Klerk, we can see here that if anything, he might be slightly better. But if we compare him with Jem Finley, he is head and shoulders better than Jem Finley. So I'm kind of experimenting and seeing if Reyes de Souza can actually make a pretty decent left back, because he is just so good. So he will play at left back today with Demancic alongside him, and then Caio Henrique also in that back line. We've not seen too much of him since we brought him back in summer, and then of course de Klerk playing at right back. Baptiste Bont is joined by Brian Medina in the centre of midfield because Jordan Ford is suspended for this fixture, but the attacking midfield is its usual self. We've got Bryce Delaney and Nieve on the wings. Actually, it should be Cavalcanti on in the middle instead of Alexandros, and then Ivica Difothera leading the line. So as kickoff is upon us here today, we hopefully are going to score a goal inside of 2 minutes. De Klerk with a long throw in towards Jens Nieve, who nods it down to Baptiste Bont on the edge of the area, into Bryce Delaney, who tries the pass. It gets blocked, but only goes as far as de Klerk, who shoots. His shot also blocks. Can we get a nice early goal like we did in the first leg? As de Klerk this time gets it out wide, again trying to put a ball into the middle, gets it to Medina, into Jan Cavalcanti, shot saved. We've had 3 or 4 decent chances there, but Liverpool just about doing enough to put us off. But we know we're good from corners. Jens Nieve, Demancic cleared. Jens Nieve to put the ball back into the middle, though. At this point, Demancic has already run away and he takes the shot on himself. And Jens Nieve, focus on the assists. You're good at that. You're not very good at goals. We've nearly scored one there. Oh, agonisingly close. 12 minutes into this game now, and Jan Cavalcanti has found a bit of room to break forward, gets past one challenge into the area, is brought down in the penalty area. No penalty, according to the referee. Ref? I don't know, I feel that's a bit dubious maybe. We win possession back in our own half though, and Baptiste Bont has a chance to bring it forward now. Jens Nieve cuts inside into the area, shoots, scores. Fantastic finish there. And of course, my phone's buzzing because OneFootball's telling me that Jens Neve has got the opening goal of the game here. Of course, the OneFootball app, the best app out there to keep up to date with all the latest footballing news, scores and updates from around the world. You can follow your favourite teams such as Aberdeen and get push notifications for any instance that happens in a match, such as goals, offsides, injuries, all that good stuff. So if you want to download the app for absolutely free from the top line of the description, doing so really helps me and the channel out. So in the meantime, this puts us 4-0 up on aggregate. I don't really think there's any way for Liverpool to get back in this. How the mighty have fallen. This is a Liverpool team that have Erling Haaland up front. They are really solid, and yet we just make it look so easy as Tomancic gets goal 22 of the season. I mean, in Football Manager and in football in general, you pay so much money for a striker that scores 20 plus goals a season. We've got a centre-back that scores that. So now that we are pretty much safely through, the interesting thing will be to talk about the other European fixtures. Now, we know Celtic got knocked out already. I mentioned that earlier on. They couldn't come back from their defeat last time out. But Motherwell did manage to get through their Europa Conference League tie. So they go into the second knockout round and join Hibs there. Rangers are in the second knockout round of the Europa League. They're taking on Bayer Leverkusen. Is it? No, Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's the one. A tough team to face, actually, I must say. So hopefully they get through that one as we score our third goal here. De Klerk with a long cross all the way through to Bryce Delaney at the far post, which... Did Cavalcanti score a goal today? I don't think he did. So that means Bryce Delaney is now the club's top scorer again. But Liverpool, it's been a pleasure. Once again, we are absolutely demolishing Brendan Rodgers. Of course, Brendan Rodgers is the manager of Liverpool. So this is the third time we've beaten them this season. I feel like we played them in the Super Cup, didn't we? Beat them in the Super Cup, and that was absolutely fantastic. Now we've played them 2 legs here and absolutely battered them here. So Brendan Rodgers, when he was PSG manager, couldn't beat us. When he's Liverpool manager, he couldn't beat us. I don't think we've played him any other time, if I'm honest with you, as we concede a goal. Long time since we've done that. Actually, it's not, is it? We conceded a goal against Motherwell in the last game that I played, and then yesterday's episode we conceded 2 against St Johnstone, which wasn't so good. But Tomancic restores the 3-goal lead that we have, and I can't believe how many goals he is scoring this season. Again, another assist for Jens Neve. He's up to 49 now. So there's a very good chance we're going to see him hit that magic 50 assist mark. I don't think I've ever had a player get 50 assists in a season, and we're not even that close to the end of the season. There's still a lot of games to play. He could easily get upwards of 60, maybe even approaching 70 assists, which is just mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Final chance maybe for Liverpool to try and get a consolation here, and they do. Caio Henrique weirdly missing that one. He's absolutely massive, really strong, 6'5" or so. How he's been out-muscled in the air there, I'm not entirely sure. Caio, you've let me down there. I put my faith in you right now. I think the most mental thing as well about this team is that Caio Henrique used to be our very best player. Like, head and shoulders our best player. He's not even our first team, really. To be honest, not really in our first team anymore. But a very big win for us there, and annoyingly, Barcelona beat PSG. The one year that we're not actually that fussed now about coefficient points because we are... I don't know, as we're finishing the series, right? It doesn't matter too much anymore. The one year we need, like, PSG to get knocked out, and we need all French teams to get knocked out, they finally have been, and it won't even matter now. The fact that Caio Henrique, by the way, is kind of like not one of... He's a very good player still, but not one of our best players, is testament to how much Alexandro has developed. So we had Caio Henrique from 2025 to call it 2028, but it wasn't. 2027, basically 2 seasons and a little bit. Now, this kind of ruins my point because I thought we had some overlap with Alexandro and with Caio Henrique. And to be fair, there might have been. Did we sign this guy in January or did we sign him at the end of a transfer window? Either way, there was maybe a slight bit of overlap, but when Alexandro came in, there was no way he was anywhere near the level of Caio Henrique. Compare the two now, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to say who's better. I'm actually looking at this now, and I might actually be backing Caio Henrique slightly. The point is, they're very similar players, and when Sandro joined, he wasn't anywhere near the level of Caio Henrique. So the point is, we can develop players well. Leeds can't. But Alexandro's physicals are just mental. I mean, 18 pace. I mean, that is mental. Also, let's double check on the Rangers, the Motherwell and the Hibs scorelines. So, dropping down into the Europa League, I don't have much hope for Rangers. Rangers lost 2-0 to Borussia Mönchengladbach. I kind of thought that would be the case because they are a decent team. Come on, Rangers, turn it around at home in the next leg. In terms of the Europa Conference League, looks like they've not actually kicked off yet. Okay. They always play on the same day as us. They always have done. But this season, they've changed to a Thursday as opposed to a Wednesday, which I'm a little bit confused about. So now we can see that Motherwell got a 2-2 draw with Young Boys, and Hibs lost 3-1 to Victoria Pleasant. That's not very pleasant, boys. We need to win that. So we're about to take on Celtic, but let's talk about the demise of Celtic this season because it's a little bit confusing. If we look at the Scottish Premiership, we've already won the league, as you would have imagined by this stage. But Celtic are struggling. They have played 28 games and they've got 2 games in hand on the teams above them. But that won't mean they're going to go ahead of them. If they win their 2 games, it's unlikely they're going to get 11 goals in those 2 games. So I don't think that they will go ahead of Hearts on goal difference. And they'd still be 2 points behind Motherwell. I think a big part of it is they just had poor form in the Champions League and that just carried on into the league. You can see here, they'd lose 2-1 to Chelsea, then lose 4-0 to Hearts. They'd lose 2-0 to Borussia Dortmund, lose 1-0 to us. Even when they won in the Champions League, they'd lose the next game to Rangers and struggle again against Hibs. Celtic have a team that is very, very good. I mean, Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's obviously a bit old at this stage now, 33, but he'd still be a very good player. They've got Bentancur, who is obviously, let's look at the whole, he's very good still, looking at these attributes. Like, they have got a good team. Marcus Dewhurst in goal, obviously absolutely class. They've got Chuck Woozy, who is, I mean, to be fair, I think what I'm seeing here actually, maybe the issue is, they're all old. All these good players that they have who actually do exist in real life are all pretty old. But I do know a lot of their regens are pretty decent as well. But hopefully we are going to embarrass them here today. What we're going to do is go straight through and we're going to pick our second string team essentially, which I haven't actually updated for a long time on the grounds that it has changed quite a bit. So actually Edicaf probably shouldn't play this game. We'll get Varela on instead. Thad McRae can't play because he is injured. So what we might do is play Alexandris on the right and then play Yankel Kanti through the middle. Obviously the backline changes, so Gill plays. We've got Reyes Souza at right back, although saying that, maybe we should be playing Aaron Fielding at right back instead for this game because he doesn't really get much game time nowadays. Ishmael left back, Tigmat Lumper and Kai Henrique in the middle. Nunes on the wing. Yeah, good team. Let's give this one a go. So as kickoff is upon us, I thought we were going to score a goal absolutely instantly there. Obviously, because Jens Neve isn't on the pitch. Actually, we should have played him to try and get his 50th assist. I've overlooked that a little bit, which is kind of upsetting. But he'll get 50 assists at some point this season. Obviously, as he's not on the pitch, it's going to be Jan Cavalcanti taking most of the set pieces. He gets it onto Caio Henrique's head, who at 6'5" should be winning balls almost as easily as Demancic in the air. I expect to see him score a goal or 2 today. In the meantime, Tam Lumper gets it into Brian Medina, 2 players we've not seen enough of this season, to be fair. Obviously, with the signing of Baptiste Bont, Tam Lumper kind of got relegated to the sidelines a little bit, but he is still an integral part of this team and a player that we love and is maybe a little bit underappreciated, I would say. He's been here since the start of his career. He had one spell out on loan at Dundee United, I think it was, where he did very, very well, came back, and has been a staple of the team ever since for the past, I want to say 10 seasons or so, as the opening goal of the game comes around in 8 minutes. It's Varela on the score sheet this time around who, I'll be honest, must be having a hard time with it right now. He starts the season as the star striker. He's come off a season, was it last season? I think it was last season. I think it was the season before where he got 40 odd goals or so. And he's just been on a decline since then, to the point now where he has been usurped as our best striker. Evie Cafdi Fothera is the main man now. Sebastian Varela, I don't know, was he a one-season wonder? Not really. He is very good. And, I mean, another goal for him there highlights how good he is. He's not played that much this season and has just scored his 100th goal for Aberdeen, which is mental. That's his 17th of the season too. That must be 100th league goal, because I feel like we've had him for more than... Or maybe it is 100th goal overall. How long have we had him? quite a while. That must be 100th league goal, yes, because he's been here long enough to get more than 100 goals. Yeah, it was this season here, 30 league goals in 30 games, 43 overall. That was also the season where I think Jan Cavalcanti just beat him with 44 goals, so they were absolutely mental. I'm not sure what it was about that season, but that season, they just were absolutely on another level scoring goals, those two. It was absolutely incredible. They've not hit those highs since. At the same time, other players have chipped in with scoring more goals as well, so I guess the goals are being replaced by other people. Corner coming up though, Cavalcanti to swing it in. There is Tigam Lumpa. He cannot win it in the air though. I want to see one of them get a goal from a corner. If Demancic can do it, he got 6 goals in his last 2 games, Demancic, from corners, which is mind-blowing. If he can do that, Henrique or Tigam Lumpa can get at least one, surely you would say, in this particular game, particularly with, I don't think they've got a particularly tall team, Celtic. Maybe that's another issue that they've got with not doing well this season. But as we are, beating them right now and nearly getting a goal from a header there for Tigam Lumpa. It was actually a free kick, not a corner, so not quite the same routine. But as we are battering Celtic, are Hearts and Motherwell playing? Yes, Hearts are, but they're losing. They need to capitalise on this situation, Hearts, if they want to stay ahead of Celtic. So, come on, Hearts, start winning. But of course, they are absolute serial bottle jobbers, as we found out this season. And it doesn't look like Motherwell are playing right now. They must be playing against Rangers or something like that later on down the line. This game, though, looks like it's going to be all wrapped up. 20 minutes to go. Are we finally going to get a goal from a corner? No, we're not. Another chance goes begging there. These two just don't have the... I think that what it must be is that the height of Demancic, he can just get over the ball a little bit more than these two to put it in the back. Saying that, Tigam Lumpa does get a goal, his 7th of the season. Congrats. Kind of wish it was Caio Henrique, though, if I'm honest with you. I've got a special place in my heart for Caio Henrique. I don't quite know why, because he's not been here that long. He was here for 2 seasons and 2 games. This is technically only his 3rd season at the club. And for a player that's only been here for 3 seasons, I feel like I love him more than I should do. I think maybe it's because he was Brazilian and one of the first Brazilians that we brought in and was always so good for it. And that's maybe what it is. But a 3-0 drubbing there of Celtic. Did Hearts manage to win their game in the end? Let's double check this one as the results come through. No, they lose. Couldn't capitalise on Celtic losing, but at least they do stay 6 points ahead. And they've got better goal difference, or better goal difference ratio, as Celtic go down to only just +4. So that is going to be it for today's episode. We will be back next time for the quarterfinals of the Champions League. The draw is yet to take place because we've got to wait for the second leg of the... Do we? Wait. No, we do, don't we? Yeah, we've just played the second leg of the first knockout round. We've got to wait for the second leg of the second knockout rounds of the other 2 competitions before all this stuff gets drawn. So confusing sometimes. Anyway, we are really rapidly approaching the end of this series now, which is quite exciting and scary and sad at the same time. But still a little while to go as we look for those extra trophies at the end of the season. We are, in fact, already got one. We won the league, didn't we? So that's 4 out of 6 trophies. The league is just so... we don't care about the league anymore. But that is 4 trophies now with that league included. So just the Scottish Cup and the Champions League to win. And I think we should be playing through to win them both. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, have a good one. Goodbye.